This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for USVI News. I'm Emily Matson. A jury has convicted a local man for a deadly shooting back in 2017. Samuel Roberts was found guilty on several charges, including murder, assault, and several weapons charges for a shooting in which he killed McDonald Samuel and injured Tahim Samuel. The trial last week held in Superior Court in St. Croix. Back on January 31st of 2017, near Lorraine Village Apartments in Frederickstead, Roberts shot McDonald Samuel in the head and chest. He died at the hospital, and after being shot a couple of times, Tahim was able to escape. Police were able to retrieve surveillance video and got witness statements during the investigation, which certainly helped lead to Roberts' conviction on Friday. He is facing life behind bars without the possibility of parole. A local building contractor is arrested and charged with felony theft for allegedly defrauding his clients. 45-year-old Anson Galloway is facing charges including obtaining money by false pretenses and grand larceny. The charges stem from an investigation which started back in February when officers with VIPD's Economic Crimes Unit got complaints that Galloway, the owner of a local construction company, intentionally took more than $200,000 from victims to build a prefabricated home, a project he did not complete, according to police. His bond was set at $51,000. He posted the full amount in cash and was released as the case moves forward. A VI senator is sounding the alarm after she says the annual safety report for the schools revealed multiple health and safety code violations throughout VI schools. Senator Genevieve Whitaker says the School Accountability Management Report released on Friday details several hazardous safety code violations, including various structural issues and health and safety concerns in several public schools. The 179 report from the VI Department of Education reveals decades of inconsistent maintenance practices have led to issues like leaky roofs and pipes, fire safety hazards, lighting problems, and the need to replace toilets and fixtures. Some are easy fixes, others are going to be costly. The Board of Education is recommending the VI legislature amend laws and adequately fund schools to make them more secure, safe, and better educational opportunities for students. Now, this report comes after education and health and safety leaders recently conducted the first ever safety and security tours to assess the safety and security of public school campuses throughout the Virgin Islands. Until now, these campus tours have focused only on maintenance and environmental issues. So the annual environmental and life and safety inspections for the 2022-2023 school year will begin in mid-July. So the acting education commissioner, Victor Sohm, said despite the report's findings, schools will reopen on August 8th as planned. He released a statement following that scathing report, saying in part, while many of our buildings are aged and have outlived their life cycle, this does not prohibit us from opening schools on time and providing safe and welcoming environments for students to learn. He went on to say maintenance is ongoing and we continue to work closely with the Office of Disaster Recovery, our federal partners, and industry consultants in order to build new schools or modernize existing buildings. I look forward to welcoming students and staff and opening schools safely in August. As the community mourns the death of former Virgin Islands Governor Charles Turnbull, the current governor has extended the period of mourning in the territory. Charles Turnbull was a former governor, educator, and historian. He was a servant leader who served as a teacher, administrator, and eventually a respected commissioner of education. Governor Albert Bryan Jr. initially ordered all U.S. Virgin Islands flags to fly at half-staff in his honor for 1 week, but Bryan has amended that order, extending the period of mourning to 30 days. Turnbull, of course, made significant contributions to the U.S. Virgin Islands and leaves behind a lasting legacy. The USVI Department of Health has confirmed a new COVID-19 Omicron subvariant has made its way to the territory. Local health officials are currently tracking 180 active COVID cases territory-wide, with 127 on St. Croix, 41 on St. Thomas, and currently 12 on St. John. Health leaders are expecting to see a spike in the coming days, especially on St. John after a weekend full of festivities there. And this week, the health commissioner confirmed a new Omicron variant is here, possibly 2 new variants. Here's more on that and what this means moving forward.
The Omicron subvariant BA4 is now present in the territory. Pending confirmation from CDC, we also received preliminary findings of the presence of BA5, and we will inform the general public of the confirmation once received from CDC. We expect that this subvariant, like all variants, will eventually circulate in the community as COVID-19 remains endemic. Therefore, we ask everyone to remain vigilant by continuing to practice healthy behaviors in public spaces where exposure and transmission is more likely to occur. The vaccine remains the best ammunition, and I say ammunition because we are fighting against a virus.
The Virgin Islands Department of Health also just announced a new vaccination schedule territory-wide is now in effect. So to learn more, you can visit COVID19USVI.com. Meantime, a new study is linking coronavirus reinfections to an increased likelihood of getting other serious health conditions. And it comes as COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations rise across the country, and a new wave of variants has some experts worried.
Getting COVID-19 two or more times could raise the risk of new serious health problems and even death. That's according to a new preprint study looking into the impact of repeated COVID-19 infections, as a new wave of COVID variants are surfacing across the U.S. and now the Virgin Islands.
The CDC still is reporting on the new variants, Omicron, and the subvariants like BA4 and BA5.
The study looked at the records of more than 5 million patients in the Veterans Affairs health system and found people with 2 or more documented infections had more than twice the risk of dying compared to those with just one COVID-19 reinfection. Researchers say reinfection also increased the likelihood of getting lung and heart problems, diabetes, digestive and kidney disorders, as well as neurologic problems. The study found the risk was the highest around the time of a COVID-19 infection, but persisted for 6 months and increased with each additional reinfection. The new research comes as the U.S. sees a rise in COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations, with the 7-day average of new daily cases at 100,000, according to recent data from Johns Hopkins University. And as the virus continues to evolve, some health experts continue to recommend boosters and are calling for an update on what it means to be fully vaccinated against the virus.
In the context of a pandemic that is still ongoing and a virus that is continuing to evolve and creating more challenges, including reinfection, we might need to reconsider this. Up to date doesn't have the same kind of sense of completion.
According to the CDC, the general population over 5 years old is encouraged to get one booster. The second booster right now is only recommended for those who are 50 and older or who are 12 years and older and are immunocompromised. The FDA is recommending that the next round of COVID booster shots target those 2 most recent Omicron subvariants, BA4 and BA5. Those subvariants right now make up half of the current cases in the U.S., the current COVID cases. So the FDA is asking vaccine makers to start clinical trials for vaccines targeting those subvariants. The agency wants the boosters available this fall to include the original vaccine as well as one based on the subvariants. Moderna and Pfizer developed their shots targeting the original Omicron subvariant, BA1. Moderna told the FDA it will take at least until late October to create a vaccine based on these latest subvariants. Because of the law in the Virgin Islands, the use of plastic bags in stores is banned and has been since 2017. And the VI might have started a new trend as more plastic-free, zero-waste grocery stores are popping up. Anthony Pura has more about the difference they're looking to make and how they're catching on with shoppers.
The Mighty Bin Market offers groceries without the prepackaged plastic. Isabel De Milan opened the zero-waste, plastic-free grocery store in San Diego as an option for environmentally conscious consumers like her.
I tried really hard to go to regular grocery stores and find things not in packaging as well as non-toxic products, and it was just such a mission to find.
But in here, customers can find many traditional grocery items as well as personal care and household products. They're stored in large bins and glass dispensers, meaning shoppers will need one of these to put them in. Customers can buy jars from the store. They can get a donated one or bring their own, which can then be reused and refilled. While many grocery stores like this one are starting to pop up across the country, it's still very niche. Corey Chafin is a food industry consultant.
I think you could see more coming up in certain geographic areas where you have high urban density and you have a consumer who's willing to go through a greater degree of inconvenience for that.
He says the biggest hurdle zero waste, plastic-free grocery stores face is changing consumer behavior.
Though you may intend to shop in a certain way, in practice you're going to go with what is most price effective and what's convenient for you.
It's just going to be a learning curve, but once you get a hang of it, people have told me they really enjoy this way of shopping. Plastic free.
Dave Milan believes it can catch on, hoping individual habits lead to collective change. Anthony Pura, CBS News, San Diego, California.
Certainly taking the plastic bags to a whole new level, getting rid of those and the containers. Cool stuff.